Hey everyone, welcome back to Auto Group. I'm Zen Biggs.
And I'm Omar.
And this is the all-new redesigned GX550. This is the Overtrail spec, so it's more of the off-roading one with the more serious tires and everything. Now we're getting to more like almost Land Rover Defender type of style or Ford Bronco type style. Squarish, you know, crazy angles. Huge view mirrors, which I haven't seen on a Lexus in years. Something that looks like, you know, like an F-150 type of view mirror. And brand new interior, of course, shared with the all-new Toyota Land Cruiser as well. So it's very, very stylish looking and boxy and rugged, but it's not exactly the classic luxurious Lexus style, right, Omar?
Yeah, this is something that Lexus has changed up now, and you can see just from the door to the side step that you have here, this new design. It's a lot higher, pretty more wider than it was before. Quite similar to, honestly, a 4Runner that I personally had in SR5. I can relate to this particular overall GX, more so to the 4Runner design and idea.
Yeah, and then coming on to the back, we got a new light bar design. The car sits high just like the old GX. You got my Mercedes back in there. Ignore that badge, of course, because we're reviewing a Lexus right now. In the back, there's no third row in this one because it's the Overtrail, I guess, right?
This is the 2-row, but you got a lot of space.
Yeah.
It goes in pretty deep. You have a little more extra space there. Right. If you did have a third row, you might have lost about this much or so.
You'd say
you'd have a small shelf left here.
Exactly.
So
strictly
you could make a good, and then of course the seats can fold over.
Yeah.
So you'll have even that much more space to put in a whole lot of luggage and
Yeah. Okay, let's go check out the interior real quick, and then I'll sit behind myself and show you how it fit. Buttons up here. I love how in our Jeeps, you know, the buttons on the side. I'm kind of getting tired of this exercise for no reason. But yeah, beautiful atomics over. Let's go check out the interior. Got a huge side step over here. Classic Toyota style, you know. It's a bit quite plasticky, but you know, not bad. And then when you get inside, what I'm noticing is that, you know, there's a good use of different colors. We got green in here. We got this sandish type of spec of the interior. But it's not super different on the inside compared to the Land Cruiser, in my opinion. It's very, very similar.
You have some of your more crawl control features here, your high, 4-low, traction off, and the rear lock.
Yeah, and look, here's the screen on now. It's huge, and it's more squarish than you find in like previous Lexuses. And I mean, look at the graphics and everything. It's all great. We've seen this in the RZ and the new RX, of course, as we reviewed. It's good, you know, it's very industry standard, but it just doesn't seem different enough to, you know, make it feel more like a Lexus product. But one thing that is very unique to this car is the hood. The way they've given you those 2 bumps, and they even said that it's meant to gauge the size of the front end for when you're off-roading.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a terribly wide vehicle.
Yeah.
Sometimes mid-size, or by the looks of the car from the outside, it does look pretty big and gigantic, kind of bold-to-see. But when you're even in the passenger seat or driver's seat, having those haunches on the side, it doesn't feel like a terribly wide vehicle. It kind of gets a more narrow towards the front and sides. It kind of shrinks around you.
Exactly. You got quite a straight, vertically opposed windshield, kind of like a G-Wagon. It's something we're going to have to wait to get out on the road, of course, and see what it's actually going to perform like. That's where we're going to see the difference between the Lexus and the Toyota version in the ride and everything like that. Okay, and this is a prototype car. I mean, it's basically ready for production. So if there are minor things like plastic pieces that are not supposed to be there or whatever, we'll forgive them for that for now. But just looking at the door panel, I mean, this is oddly plain for a Lexus. I haven't seen an empty door panel like this in years from them. Something that looks very, you know, normal. And in the bottom part, of course, you just have this like speaker cover over here, total plastic. Not something that you would expect from like a $70,000 GX. So that's a bit unfortunate, because the last GX that we reviewed, I've probably driven like 4 of these V8 ones. The smoothness of the engine paired with the luxurious interior really made that GX worth its about base $60,000 price up to like 72. This thing is gonna go up to like $80,000 now. I'm not sure what's all that, you know, going towards when you can buy something like a Land Cruiser, and then it's gonna be the same. And I don't even have a lot of space in the back.
At least you can sit back with the recliner and kind of recline back and forth, and that's nice on the lower back. But as you can see, my knees are off to the side because sitting behind myself at 6'2", 6'3", is, you know, going to take up a lot more space in the rear seat. So yeah, that's kind of what you get.
Right. Let's see how I can get out of this thing now. It's not the most pleasant looking in such a luxurious SUV. Very interesting. We're gonna have to really see what it's gonna be like out on the road. But what I've noticed is that people really have received this design very, you know, positively compared to the old GX, I guess. Everybody's really liking the newer design, right, Armin?
Yeah.
In the car.
This design is definitely improved with the daytime running by the whole look that they have.
Yeah.
Low air current here. What I do like is these new fog lights that Toyota especially should improve on is the LED technology. No longer that halogen,
right?
You know, that kind of orangish color that they give off.
Yeah, this is very modern.
And it also comes off of the corner, so it's giving that blind spot a little more attention.
Yeah,
it's really good. I like
very, very nicely done. So yeah, like I said, you know, just the first impressions with the GX. This is very brutally honest because we're at the auto show and we're huge Lexus and Toyota people. Anyways, we started the channel reviewing Lexuses. We've owned tons of them, so I could be exceptionally harsh, and it doesn't really matter because it's let's just save it for when you drive.
Compare this with the 4Runner, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because of this trim in particular, how they are trying to give it the roof rack, they're giving it that massive side step.
Right.
They're giving it the rim and tire package.
Yeah.
Fog lights and all that extra bits are more on the off-road kind of rugged passenger vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can take this well off-road just like you would any 4Runner or anything like that. And especially with these new figures, the horsepower and the torque, 400 plus torque.
Yeah, we're at 350.
We'll definitely have some good kick on the off-road trails.
Exactly.
Or just on the typical roads on the highways and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, that's the GX. Thank you so much for watching this little clip. Let's see what else that we want to see at the Lexus booth. They got the new TX as well. We should probably cover that next. Thank you so much.